And in his latest attack on the Election Commission, Rahul Gandhi has now put out a video where he's meeting with supposedly dead voters. A chai pe charcha that's taken place at Rahul Gandhi's residence, where these voters who've been declared dead by the Election Commission met with Rahul Gandhi. So this is the leader of opposition, the Congress MP, lashing out at the Election Commission, saying, and I quote here, "There have been many interesting experiences in life, but I never got the chance to have tea with dead people." He's put out a detailed video where he's speaking to a handful of people who he says have been declared dead by the Election Commission, essentially because their names are not on the voter roll and they've been named as deceased. Rahul Gandhi in his caption has also said, "For this unique experience, thank you, Election Commission." Remember, Rahul Gandhi has been referring to his exposés against the Election Commission as atom bombs. He's put out part 1 last week. He says many more will come. Picture abhi baki hai. And amid that, this video put out by Rahul Gandhi. Let's bring in Rahul Gautam, who's joining us with more details on this. Rahul, so the latest attack by Rahul Gandhi involves a meet and greet with voters who allegedly are not part of the voter roll because they've been identified as deceased by the Election Commission.
Well, absolutely. And you see, it's a very sarcastic tweet that has been put out by Rahul Gandhi, wherein he is thanking Election Commission for this unique experience, saying that thanks to Election Commission, I had an interaction with deceased people, deceased on electoral rolls. So clearly, it seems, and if you see that video, you can see that Rahul Gandhi having a conversation with these people, asking their polling booth, their constituency. In fact, Sanjay Yadav, who is from RJD, in fact, he was also present over there in this meeting. So clearly, as far as Rahul Gandhi is concerned, this is another way to tell people as to how SIR exercise, which is being undertaken in Bihar, is actually deleting real people, real voters from electoral rolls. And remember, Akshita, I myself asked this question to Rahul Gandhi, about electoral rolls and EVM, so which Rahul Gandhi says that we have got information about voter subtraction as well, but we are still working on it. We are still analyzing the data. So you can expect, as yesterday also, last night also, we broke this story that Rahul Gandhi is saying that many more exposes will come. There are 70 Lok Sabha seats which were manipulated in Lok Sabha. The same thing is now happening in ahead of assembly polls in Bihar. So clearly, as far as Rahul Gandhi is concerned, it shows that he is increasing the heat against the Election Commission. And you can say that Congress leaders, including Rahul Gandhi, they are on a war path against poll watch body. And clearly, this is going to be a major flashpoint between Congress and BJP.
It's just another front that Rahul Gandhi has opened up. Rahul, thanks for those details. Listen in to that sequence of Rahul Gandhi's interaction with these voters.
है ही नहीं तो कैसे देखेंगे दिल्ली और वहाँ से डायरेक्ट निकले हैं सर
वहाँ से जिंदा होके आए ना.
They can say कि no entry was required. Enter all the places.
टिकट भी नहीं चाहिए.
टिकट भी नहीं चाहिए. So every entry place you can.
नहीं मरे हुए तो टिकट कैसे दिया?
एंट्री कैसे मिलेगा सर? सब जगह एंट्री लगे.
सर लोग आशा से आया है इसीलिए कि सर के पास जाएंगे तो आश्वस्त हो जाएंगे कि कम से कम हमारा लोग जो कटे हैं उसको साथ.
All right, let's move on to our top focus here on Super 6, which is on the showdown in Dharmasthala of Karnataka, which has been thrust in the national spotlight over allegations by a man, a former sanitation worker at, in fact, Dharmasthala, at the holy site, where he alleged that he had set up and had buried a number of bodies, hundreds of bodies, as he put it. The recent controversy at Dharmasthala ignited widespread outrage and protest, with allegations of that mass burial site fueling intense debate and blurring the line between the truth versus speculation. Now, the BJP has announced that its legislators would be visiting the temple town of Dharmasthala on August 17th amid the SIT probe into this particular case. And that's because the BJP pro-Hindu groups have all now started speaking out, alleging that this is a conspiracy, claiming that this is an attempt to target the temple and nothing more. Essentially because in the ongoing SIT investigation, remember that this alleged whistleblower had identified 15 spots. Of these 15 spots, authorities' exhumation process has been done till spot number 13. And so far, human remains have been found only at one site, and another site slightly afar, they found a few remains. But that's about it, which is why right now groups, Hindu activists, you've got BJP members all crying foul, saying then was this just an attempt to go ahead and defame the temple administration?
ಮುಂದಿನ ಭಾನುವಾರ 17ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಿರಿಯ ಶಾಸಕರುಗಳು ವಿಧಾನ ಪರಿಷತ್ ಸದಸ್ಯರು ಎಲ್ಲರ ನೇತೃತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಧರ್ಮಸ್ಥಳಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಭೇಟಿಯನ್ನ ನೀಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ನಾವು ಭಾರತೀಯ ಜನತಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರು ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಧರ್ಮಸ್ಥಳ ಮಂಜುನಾಥೇಶ್ವರನ ಭಕ್ತರಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತೆರಳುತ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ನಾವು ಭಾರತೀಯ ಜನತಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ನಮ್ಮ ನಿಲುವು ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟತೆ ಇದೆ. SIT ತನಿಖೆ ಅದು ಶೀಘ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಗಿಬೇಕು. ಇದನ್ನ ಹೀಗೆ ಎಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Let me bring in Nagarjun Dwarkanath for all the details of what's really playing out right now in Dharmasthala. Naga, a lot of questions being asked right now by Hindu groups, by the BJP, about whether these allegations of a mass burial are all a lie. Obviously, this is a very, very high-profile investigation. But so far, of the 15 sites, it doesn't really look like the SIT has made any, headway or breakthrough.
Well, that's absolutely true. Now, the pressure is on the SI to find something because they believed what the sanitation worker had said and then started digging, while the Hindu groups are putting pressure on the government to say that you did a SIT, you dug up 15 such holes, but nothing has come out except for one such spot where few bones were found, and that also belonged to a male person, male human being from Bangalore. Bangalore rural is what we are told. Now, BJP MLAs and MLCs have decided to travel to Dharmasthala on 17th of August and take darshan in the temple and offer prayers, indirectly giving out a message that the party stands with the Dharmadhikari and the temple trust, where the SIT is still investigating in the temple town of Dharmasthala as we speak.
Okay, Naga, thanks very much for joining us with those details. But let's just also put in context here what's been found so far in the investigation by the SIT. Mind you that there are 15 sites identified by this complainant where he says he buried all of these bodies. So far in the exhumation process that's been underway for the last many weeks, partial skeletal remains were found at spot number 6 of the 15. Site number 6 is where they did find some remains. The evidence that's been collected from the site is still being analyzed, but what we can confirm for you is that the skeletal remains that were found at site number 6 were suspected to be that of a man. Besides that, there was also at site number 11, spot number 11, additional remains that were found. But again, these were very scattered skeletal remains that were found. They've not been able to get concrete details really from even spot number 11 to be able to get anything together. And so far, there's been absolutely no indication of any sort of mass burial. And 13 out of the 15 sites have been dug up. There are 2 sites still pending. But obviously for the SIT too, looking at what's happened so far, they're not really expecting to find anything in the remaining 2 sites. At site 13, they even dug deep, knowing full well that layers of soil had come up. And yet, there's been no breakthrough or no headway really in the investigation. But why really is the BJP alleging that this could be a conspiracy? Let's take you through Dharmasthala, this location, what makes it so prominent, and the sacred legacy of this temple town. It's a renowned pilgrimage site that attracts devotees nationwide to this particular area. It's in the Dakshina Kannada district. It's home to the very, very famous and revered Manjunatha Temple. And it's to visit this temple and take darshan at this temple that you have lakhs of devotees who come into Dharmasthala. It's also got a symbolism of religious harmony and unity. It's known for its charitable and community services. Importantly, and you've heard, of course, about all of this talk of a conspiracy by the BJP, by Hindu activists, the Dharmadhikari is the head of the temple, the spiritual head of the temple. It's essentially a designation, or in fact, that title is handed over within one particular family. And so in this particular case, the BJP is alleged that all the allegations that you see, it's all an attempt to target and tarnish the image of the Dharmadhikari. Let me bring in on this broadcast our panelist, Mr. Bhaskar Rao, spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP. We also have Nikhil Jain, political consultant, with us. Mr. Bhaskar Rao, I'd like to begin with you. You know, I remember in the weeks running up to what we're seeing right now, to the investigation, the BJP wanted a fair, impartial probe. Today, it looks like that's definitely happened. So what is the BJP's grouse here?
See, we were waiting with bated breath that something startling is going to be unraveled at Dharmasthala, because the nature of allegations were extremely gross and extremely horrifying. But 2 weeks down the line, after having dug up the several pits over there, government has not even come out with an interim report of how it is proposing to proceed. And what is more shocking to Hindu believers who have got great devotion and regard for Dharmasthala Manjunatha Temple is the extraordinary interest taken by non-Hindus in getting it placed dug over there. What is their interest? Do we go behind other communities, temples, etc., or place of worship to do all these things over there? Nothing seems to be coming out, and now they have started naming and shaming the temple and denigrating a place of worship, which has attracted devotees, as you rightly mentioned, from all across the state as well as from different parts of South India also. So nothing seems to be coming out, and it is nothing but threatening and annihilating Hindu feelings. Now, in the recent past, we saw how Padmanabha Swami Temple was brought into controversy, and how Sabrimala was brought into controversy, how Isha Temple was brought, was brought
The foundation.
into. Now again, this is what exactly are you trying? At least tell us, assure us that what you are doing. Tell us that you are convinced by what that masked man is telling you. If at all that masked man has given some 164 statement, tell us whom are you aiming at? What exactly your investigation is all about? This whole thing seems to be digging and closing, and some kind of a mockery of investigation. Means the entire police force.
Okay, so you're saying there's no complete 100% transparency, which is the concern. Mr. Rao, I'll come back to you. Let Nikhil Jain also make his opening comments on this. Nikhil Jain, what do you make of the BJP's allegation here that there's been no transparency, that the investigation hasn't gone along the way they wanted it to, especially in this kind of a sensitive case? All right, apologies. We've lost the connection with Mr. Jain. We'll come back to you. We're having a bit of a problem there with your connection. In the meanwhile, I'll take this back across to Mr. Bhaskar Rao on the comment you made, Mr. Rao, where you spoke of how you believe that this is a targeted attempt at a temple. Just explain to us why you believe that, especially because you're also alleging that people of other faiths are actually targeting this temple. Where's the evidence of that?
Hindus never take such kind of a extraordinary interest in trying to poke affairs into other communities or other.
No, but sir, is this beyond religion? If there's an allegation of mass burials, it has nothing to do about whether this is a temple town or not. This could happen anywhere, in which case it's still as serious.
So see, what I'm trying to tell you is that why are you picking out this place? And nothing's not even substantial. Bones could have been discovered anywhere. What do you make out of that? Huge team of people, as you rightly pointed out, is on a wild goose chase. And nothing seems to be coming out. It's only holy smoke. And all the media from morning till evening is chasing these investigators. And a man in a mask is telling them to dig here, dig there, etc., etc. When we ourselves cannot identify a place after 2 or 3 years, 13 or 15 years later, a man comes and says, I buried so many dead bodies over there. Okay, I'm also a police officer. I know how difficult it is to take a dead body, drag it all the way, dig a grave, and bury it and come out without being seen or carrying them. At least the police could have proceeded to find out what was the content of that 164 statement which he had made. Whom are they trying to target? Is it only digging, and how long this digging is going to take place? But what I'm more aghast is that the Honorable Home Minister on the floor of the Assembly failed to give a convincing explanation what is the line of investigation. What exactly, whom are they trying to target, or what exactly, in which direction the investigation is proceeding, how long they desire to...
But Mr. Rao, just quickly, before I bring in Nikhil Jain, and hopefully we'll have him with us in the broadcast, but Mr. Bhaskar Rao, you're saying that, there has been no clarity from the Karnataka Home Minister. They formed a special investigative team. In the run-up to this investigation, there were multiple assurances made that it will be a fair, impartial probe. What we're perhaps seeing is the result of that. If there was, nothing that was true, that was concrete, they've come out with the truth that, look, nothing has been found.
Yeah, all that is fine, that they are going to assure us. But give us an interim report. Give us an interim report what exactly you have done. Let there be an official statement of in which direction you are proceeding. Because the allegations made against such a revered temple are very, very serious in nature. We also were waiting that something is going to come out. Nothing seems to be coming out. It is only holy smoke, and whole thing is being misled. And some people who are not even from Karnataka, they are mentioning about the investigation and giving comments, etc. And some
Okay.
people are comments in YouTube, and it is only leading to bad blood. Give us a
Okay.
scientific explanation.
Okay, you're saying that there's not enough clarity from the government. Nikhil Jain is with us finally. Nikhil, I hope you can hear me, and we've managed to fix the connection. Your opening comments, go ahead, on the allegation that the government hasn't been completely transparent in the investigation.
Actually, so first of all, I'm very sorry for the poor network. And so far as the government's role in this entire controversy is concerned, I think the government has done a fabulous job. You had very, very serious allegations of certain mass burials and sexual misconduct against women and minors, and the government set up an SIT under an officer of the Director General rank. See, I'm not going to say whether people related to the temple or anybody in the temple authorities actually did these things or they did not do these things, which is why there is a need for an investigation, which is why the government set up an SIT. I think it's absolutely bizarre that the BJP is going around making it a protest about how, the prestige of the temple has been hurt and this and that, because let's not forget that this is not the first time when such allegations have come to fore with regards to this temple. So it's not like a brand new witch hunt that the Congress government just wanted to invent. It is something which has a history in the past. There has been no evidence in the past, which is why an SIT was set up. And there has been no evidence of mass burials, but we have found certain skeletons in various sites. Now, one may say that they are not women's skeletons, they are men's skeletons, but is a murder not a murder? Is a man's murder less important than a woman's murder? The point is that if there is something fishy, if there is something wrong, the SIT should probe it.
No,
They should
sure,
take it to
sure,
court,
Nikhil.
and the people
We're not going to, at
Right.
any point, dismiss what's been found. That is something that still has to be investigated very much. But look, the allegation that came to the fore, and the reason that everyone was talking about what's happening in Dharmasthala is two. One is that, there were these allegations of mass burials. And secondly, that this was a temple town. So you can't take away from the fact that, look, this was a site of a very, holy location of a temple. And so maybe there was an attempt to defame, which is what the BJP is alleging.
That is quite a baseless allegation. Karnataka is a state where the chief minister, the deputy chief minister, the home minister, all of them are Hindus. Majority of the people are Hindus. Majority of the Congress's voters are Hindus. Nobody is looking out to go and defame a temple town or the Hindu faith or a particular sect in the Hindu faith. And I think people who are followers of the religion should feel vindicated that these allegations are not proving to be true, that there are no mass burials. I don't understand why the BJP has to, look like they're standing behind rapists and murderers all the time, because this is what they did for Guru Ram Rahim. Why am I calling him Guru? The man Ram Rahim who's been convicted for rape and murder, that's what they've done for Asa Ram Bapu. Why are they always standing with godmen against whom there are godmen or some sort of religious figures against whom there are allegations of rape and murder? Let investigations happen. Let them be exonerated by the investigations and by the due process of law and the court. And let's all go home and sit in peace and learn and know that our temples were not doing anything wrong. What is wrong in all of this?
A valid point, Mr. Bhaskar Rao, your response to the question asked by Nikhil Jain on why it's troubling the BJP if nothing has been found. That's good news. That means that, these mass burials did not happen.
This is nothing but not addressing the question and beating around the bush. You said dead bodies have been buried left, right, and center. Hundreds of dead bodies. Even one dead body was not discovered over there. Give us an interim report. What exactly you're saying? Today it is BJP that is protesting, but BJP plus so many thousands of Hindus who revere that temple. Do you mean to say they are not hurt? You are hurting us. You are insulting us. You are humiliating us. Had it been any other religion, by this time there would have been a bloodbath. And it is nothing but taking Hindus for granted and insulting Hindus by carrying on a 2-week excavation after excavation and saying hundreds. If there are hundreds of dead bodies, at least by this time, 5 to 10, 15 to 20 skeletons should have come out by now if he was telling all these things over there. Where exactly the investigation is leading? At least assure in the House, Assembly, what exactly you are doing in investigation. I am also a professional police officer. We have done this kind of investigation. Even in war crimes investigation, interim reports are given. What exactly we have done after 2 weeks, what have been done after 3 weeks or 4 weeks. How do you proceed? Have you carried out a 164 statement of that masked man called Anamika or Bhima or whatever? What? Make it public. No, why are you scared? Make it public and tell us. The people are entitled to know the contents of your investigation. You cannot keep
Okay.
everything under the shadow, under the cover, and say that
Nikhil Jain, looking at what's emerged so far, do you think it's
let-
warranted when the BJP says there should be an interim
talk about
report
this
on what's
specifically.
really emerged so far?
Actually, I definitely believe that a report should come out soon. But for the BJP to ask an interim report in an investigation of this scale, when only a month into the investigation has passed, that is not at all fair. That is not how the process of law works. Mr. Rao is a professional policeman. I think he would also know that the police or any investigative agency will never give an interim report within the first month of investigation. They would wait at least 3 to 4 months so as to, uncover and discover whatever maximum that they can. They would not want to let out their cards in open. And since I'm sure that he would know more about police than I would, please ask him to tell me one single example anywhere in the country, forget the government, forget the party, where an interim report was given in less than a month of the investigation starting.
No, Mr. Bhaskar Rao, quickly respond to that and then I'll wrap this up. Your response, sir, as someone who's been a top cop, an ongoing investigation which is not wrapped up yet, can we really be seeking reports so early in the probe?
In all sensational cases where public curiosity is at its height, people are entitled to know what is going on. People are entitled to know till where you have proceeded, what do you propose to do over there. Nowadays, you see, even operations that are being telecast over there and are being shown to public what is going on. Why are you hiding? What exactly? It means till 2 weeks, should we all keep quiet and fire? Should we all keep quiet and keep on digging over there? Is the government has no responsibility towards majority Hindu sentiments? Why do you hurt us like this? Thousands and thousands of people go to the temple town and such sacrilegious comments are being made and you keep digging over there. Should you not have at least common sense? Are you not being sensitive? Why are you being so insensitive and humiliating the Hindus and taking extraordinary interest of non-Hindus into consideration and the people from Kerala and other places? If at all so many people were buried, their parents would have come forward and said they would have given missing cases. Something would have come. Apart from the 2 cases, nothing is there.
Okay, Nikhil, quickly, your response and then we'll wrap this up.
Akshita, I asked Mr. Rao, who has been a top cop himself, I asked him to give me one example. He hasn't been able to give me, and what he says is because public curiosity is at its peak, a report in an investigation could be given. But I'm sorry, that's not how law enforcement works. Because public curiosity is at its peak, let's uncover our cards. That's not how it works. As simple as that.
Okay. I've run out of time, Mr. Bhaskar Rao. My apologies. I've run out of time. Mr. Bhaskar Rao and Nikhil Jain, thank you very much for joining us here on this broadcast. Let's see what really emerges in the weeks to come, because this is still an investigation that's underway. But it's turning political now, with the BJP all set to reach Dharmasthala over the weekend. They're going to be visiting the temple, being a part of a darshan there, and then also hitting the streets in protest, questioning whether this was an attempt to defame the temple. The reality is, however, that so far, based on what this complainant said, or as he was being referred to as a whistleblower, nothing has been found so far. And I want to take you back to exactly what this complainant had alleged and why it was taken up so seriously on a war footing, so much so that an SIT was also established, which is looking into this case. Take a look at what the complainant had said.
I am submitting this complaint with a heavy heart and deep moral burden. I can no longer carry the pain, threats, and guilt from the murders I witnessed and the bodies I was forced to bury. From 1995 to December 2014, I worked as a sanitation worker under the Dharmasthala Temple administration. My duties began as routine cleaning near the Netravati river and surrounding areas. But over time, they turned into something horrifying. I was ordered to dispose of dead bodies, many of which bore signs of brutal violence and sexual assault. At first, I believed the bodies were from suicides or accidents, but most were of women, many found naked or partially clothed, with signs of rape, strangulation, and acid burns. I saw girls as young as 12 with school uniforms but no undergarments, and women with faces burned by acid, all buried or cremated under my forced supervision. I witnessed the murder of beggars, often strangled using towels, in locked rooms. I buried or burned hundreds of bodies in and around Dharmasthala, many times using diesel to incinerate them completely. Around 1998, I was explicitly ordered by supervisors not to report these to police, but to secretly bury or burn the bodies. When I resisted, I was threatened and told, "You will be chopped into pieces like them. Your family too will be sacrificed." In 2014, after a member of my family was sexually harassed, I fled Dharmasthala with my family and have been hiding in a neighboring state since, constantly moving out of fear. Those involved are members of the Dharmasthala Temple administration and staff, but I cannot name them in the complaint due to their power and threats. Once I receive protection under the Witness Protection Scheme, I am ready to reveal full names and specific roles of the accused. Those who were buried deserve a dignified funeral. I plead with the authorities to unearth these remains and allow proper rites to be performed. I pray that these horrific crimes to be investigated with urgency and justice be delivered to the countless voiceless victims. If I am killed or go missing before disclosing the names, the truth may die with me.
So what's the Dharmasthala truth? Hopefully we'll have answers very, very soon. Focusing on Karnataka, let's continue getting you all the political updates that are coming in on K.N. Rajanna's sacking as Karnataka minister. He was removed, ousted from the state cabinet after a decision was clearly made by the Congress High Command. He alleged that there was a conspiracy and said he will reveal everything now that his name has been dropped. Earlier, remember, he'd alleged that vote theft took place right in front of him and claimed the Karnataka government failed to act in time. He now says he'll expose exactly what he meant by that, what happened, how it happened, who was behind it, and he says all of this will come out when the time is right.
तो आज इस तरह के झूठे आरोप क्यों लगते हैं? और कांग्रेस में आंतरिक लोकतंत्र खत्म हो चुका है। के.एन. रजन्ना ने कांग्रेस के वरिष्ठ नेता जब अपनी पार्टी पर सवाल खड़ा किया कि भाई हमारी सरकार थी 2024 में कर्नाटक में कांग्रेस की, जब उन्होंने बात कही तो उनको नोटिस नहीं दिया। फिर एक बार दलित नेता के ऊपर गाज गिरी। कांग्रेस ने उनको नोटिस तो छोड़िए, उनको बर्खास्त करने का सीधा आदेश राहुल गांधी जी ने दिया।
It is a party decision and it is something that we all have to respect. Even Mr. Rajanna also has said that he will abide by the party decision, and he has also said Rahul Gandhi is his leader, and he said he will go and explain to the High Command. So, but also in public life, we should also be careful about, sometimes when we see TV cameras and mics, we say of things which we should not be saying. And that is the thing where we should be careful of what we say.
Moving on to Tamil Nadu, where the governor, R.N. Ravi, has been snubbed by a student at a convocation ceremony. This was, in fact, at the Manomaniyam Sundararan University, where a PhD scholar refused to receive her degree from his hands. The student, seen, in fact, walking into the frame, walks right past the governor, goes to, in fact, whoever standing next to the Tamil Nadu governor, doesn't even look at Governor Ravi, and then walks away. The student is actually the wife of a DMK leader, M. Rajan, and during the convocation ceremony, she resorted to clearly a form of protest, accepting her degree from the university's vice-chancellor, but not from the governor. And she said that the governor is acting against the interests of Tamil Nadu, and that's why chose not to do it. BJP's K. Annamalai has criticized the DMK, saying this is drama being staged using educational institutions in order to gain fame. Let's bring in Pramod Madhav for more details on this. Pramod, you see clearly a very symbolic gesture there by that student. And this is something that we're seeing a lot more in Tamil Nadu. Even on Independence Day, we understand that the DMK is choosing to go ahead and boycott an event where the governor is.
It absolutely is, Sakshita. One of the very important and recent developments with the kind of fight between the governor and the DMK government is about the actual construction of a university in Tiruvallur district under the name of Kalaignar Karunanidhi University. And this particular bill was not passed by the governor. It was placed and then he has forwarded it to the president. So DMK is definitely not happy about it. Amidst this particular student called as identified as Jean Joseph at Manoormaniam Sundarnath University in Tirunelveli for the convocation. When the governor was there, the higher education minister, Govicharian, was not present. He had given a certain reason for it, and the student went ahead and said that she did not want to receive the award from the governor, claiming that she could not find any kind of work the governor has done for Tamil or Tamil Nadu, while the Vice Chancellor, she claims that he has done a lot of work, and that's why she decided that as per her choice, she will get the award from the Vice Chancellor of that particular university. This has definitely turned into a huge controversy currently because that was a governor who was snubbed, but the governor, she also claimed he was not worried. She simply, she said that he said it's okay, and she left the place, Akshita.
All right, Pramod, thanks very much for joining us with all of those details. Now let's get you an exclusive conversation with YSRCP Chief Jagan Mohan Reddy, who's claimed now, made a big charge, claiming Chandrababu Naidu, the Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister, is in touch with Rahul Gandhi through Revanth Reddy. Jagan Mohan Reddy has claimed essentially that when Rahul Gandhi talks about vote chori, he makes no statement on Andhra Pradesh because of vested interests. He's suggesting essentially that there seems to be some sort of tie-up, some sort of understanding between Chandrababu Naidu and Rahul Gandhi. Listen in to Jagan Mohan Reddy speaking to India Today.
But today we made an interesting comment saying Revanth Reddy, Chandrababu Naidu and Rahul Gandhi are all in cohort with each other. What is your meaning by that?
Well, not only me, Ma. If you were to ask anybody in the state, it's an evident fact to everybody in the state. Why is it that the Congress spokesperson does not speak of Chandrababu Naidu's versus he speaks of me? He's also Andhra in charge. That person's name, I think Manikyam Tagore. Manikyam Tagore, you should ask him. He doesn't speak about Chandrababu Naidu. He only speaks about us. Why is it so? And similarly, Rahul Gandhi, when he speaks about all this vote chori, he doesn't talk about Andhra Pradesh. Comments on Chandrababu Naidu. Why? Because there's a hotline between Rahul Gandhi and Chandrababu Naidu through Revanth. It's pretty obvious.
So you're saying Revanth still works with Naidu?
Absolutely. It's everybody's knowledge. If somebody is so naive that they can't see what's happening, then somebody should be termed as naive.
రాహుల్ గాంధీతో తెలుగుదేశం పార్టీ జగన్మోహన్ రెడ్డి గారికి ఎట్లాంటి ఆలోచనలు వస్తాయో నాకు నవ్వు వస్తుంది. అరే భారతదేశంలో ఓట్ల చోరీ దొంగ ఓట్లకి మూలం ఎక్కడయ్యా? కేర్ ఆఫ్ వైఎస్ఆర్సీపీ కదా, జగన్మోహన్ రెడ్డి కదా. 5 ఏళ్లలో నువ్వు చేసినటువంటి అరాచకాలకు చివరికి ఏం జరిగింది? మా ఉరవకొండలోనే మొదలైంది కదా. 10,000 ఓట్లను తొలగించాలని మీరు పిటిషన్ పెట్టలేదా? తొలగించింది సిద్ధం కాదా? దాని మీద సెంట్రల్ గవర్నమెంట్ కేంద్ర ఎన్నికల సంఘం నుంచి ఓ కార్యదర్శి వచ్చి బిఎల్ఓలకు సస్పెండ్ చేసి తర్వాత 2 జెడ్పీసీఈఓలు సస్పెండ్ చేసింది మర్చిపోయారా? విశాఖపట్నం మర్చిపోయారా?
Just saw Mr. Jagan's statement on the vote chori thing. Mr. Jagan must understand that the leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi ji, he is not a person who is fighting for Congress alone. We are fighting for India's democracy. He has not surrendered to Mr. Shah. He is not afraid about Mr. Modi like the way Mr. Jagan does. We are fighting the battle against Shah and Modi to protect India's democratic rights. The vote chori story is a simple story that in each Lok Sabha, around 39 to 48 Lok Sabha seats, in each seat, assembly segment and few booths, the manipulation has been organized by Mr. Amit Shah with the help of Rajiv Kumar and Gyaneshwar Election Commission. We are fighting against a bigger battle.
Let's cut across to big breaking news that's coming in. It's been confirmed now that next week there will be crucial India-China border talks. Special representative level talks will take place next week. This even as the Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi will be visiting India on August 18th. That's been confirmed. So Monday is when, in fact, the Chinese Foreign Minister will be in India. He will be holding bilateral talks with Ajit Doval as well, is what we're hearing. And important to highlight that this is the first visit of the Chinese Foreign Minister post the Galwan clashes of June 2020. So you're seeing big steps being taken by both India and China to kind of mend the relationship. Remember that this meeting will be happening and the visit by Wang Yi will be happening just before Prime Minister Modi also heads to China, which is at the end of this month. August 31st, September 1st is when, in fact, Prime Minister Modi will be in China for the SCO. So clearly you're seeing, in fact, developments taking place that suggest that both India and China are ensuring that ties are mended.